Hey everybody, I'm Chris and I fix drones, and in this case it's the DJI Mini 2. If you're watching this video, you probably have one of these guys. This is the back rear leg. This one's already fixed, but this is the back rear leg of the DJI Mini 2 and probably why you're here watching this video right now. So not only do I fix drones, I do tutorial videos to help you do it yourself. And in this case, this is a very simple repair as long as you know how to solder and solder properly. That's where you can do all your damage, not knowing how to solder or just not having the proper soldering iron, which you'll see in the video. So simple to do. This leg's like $30, and in this case, we also had a broken rocker joint, and that was like $10. So you have like a $40 repair here, and if you know what you're doing, you've done them before. It's a quick under 30-minute repair. For a first timer, take your time, be smart. Might take you maximum of an hour. So very simple. We'll cut right to it and get into repairing the drone. So enjoy the video, and I hope it helps you out. Always first remove your battery. And then we're going to go ahead and take off the props. So fast forward. All right, so obviously we're going to be replacing this back leg, and a very common problem with these back legs when they do break is that joint, that black ring you have right here, that breaks along with it. So I'm going to explain it to you as I go. This isn't going to be one of those videos where somebody takes it apart and puts it all back together again with a bunch of annoying music playing in the background, where it just shows you that, hey, look, I know how to take it apart and fix it. I like to try to teach you something in the process. So if you own this drone and you are a do-it-yourself person, you can find pretty much everything, your whole body shell, internal components, your legs. And when you order your rear legs, this joint right here is something that you will almost always have to replace. It's made to break, therefore in most cases you don't break the frame as well. But it's mainly a hinge point. And if they made this thing so it wouldn't break, then you would break much more. Something's got to give, and that's what that is right there. So let's go ahead and take this baby apart. And he left his SD card in it, so I'll take that out. And we're going to go ahead and take this cover off. And let's go ahead and just go, while we have it upside down here, remove these screws. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Remove all these. They don't always want to come out, so you can leave them behind as long as they are unscrewed. Sometimes they want to stay there. That one came out. Try this one more time. There we go. Get these back ones. And there we go. So there's those 4 screws. And then we're going to open up our cover right here. And we're just going to go around and press against the frame to unsnap. It's not always easy, but just kind of be patient with it. because it's got snap points in here. You can use pry tools. I try not to mark them up, so always just try to go around by hand first. Once you get enough of them undone, they tend to want to come along. Generally, the back is where you want to get it first. Okay, so we have that all unsnapped. Now our sides are what's holding us up. There we go. See that? Here's the snaps that I'm talking about. So that's what's holding it in place right now. So if you can squeeze the drone, you'll lighten up on its grab. Of course, they're always difficult when I'm videoing, right? Okay. Now that we have that, you got to kind of work the front gently because we don't want to break all these either. In the front, once we get it undone, I'll show you, same type of tabs. So you can break all these tabs very easily, but we have all our tabs in place, all still there. Everything's good. We didn't break anything in the process. So there's the cover. Sounds a little violent, but it comes apart pretty easily. So this is the nice thing about the mini drones is, turn up my soldering iron here. Everything's right here for the rear leg. It's very simple. I have another one that I'm going to be doing, and I'll publish it as well. I have to replace the front leg. So for that, it's very simple too, but then your antenna is in the bottom. So for that, you have to remove 2 screws here and then unsnap that bottom and then undo your antenna and feed it down through. So that's another video to come that you can watch and check out. So if you notice this screw here, there's another one here. That's how it mounts to this joint. So we'll be undoing that, but let's go ahead and get to these wires first. So you always want to make sure you make note the order of your wires. You have your white, you have your black, and you have your red. Often I always recommend just take a picture of that. And then when you put it back, it's going to be just right. So then here you have red, black, white, red, black, white. Same thing. They mirror each other. Got a little bit of goop on there that you're going to have to contend with. Just want to make sure we kind of can break it away from where it sticks to the frame. That way I can grab them with tweezers. Little tweezers. Bring this over to clean the soldering iron. We'll start off with a nice clean tip. Nice clean shiny tip. And then we're going to, you want to be careful, don't hit any of the components. Comes right off. If you have a good soldering iron. I do these videos so I can show you how to do it yourself. And part of that is, of course, you have to be a little bit handy, but you can't be afraid to do this. And the biggest part is soldering. People go buy these real cheap soldering irons. They're not hot enough to melt even the smallest soldering joints. You end up burning up your board, burning off your solder points, and then that's the biggest battle. A good soldering iron, you'll see as I do this, it works flawlessly. It comes right undone. So let's go ahead and get this screw out right here. Very easy, quick repair, fellas, guys, gals. So drop that screw. That screw went in there, didn't it? Sitting here fumbling around, dropping screws now. We might have to remove the bottom anyhow, now that we dropped a screw. Didn't see where it was going to. I just looked up and then boom, I lost that screw. I'm going to put that with the new joint, but now this joint will just come off. Sometimes after you've crashed them, they're a little tighter, but there it is. So that's junk. We don't want that. Here's where the crack is right there. If you can see that crack. And then you have 3 screws that hold that on. So let's undo these 3 screws. This screwdriver is a little bit too large for that. Make sure we stay in view here. Another thing I'll let you know, and I'll show you when we put it back on, is everything screws into plastic. So make sure that you are not over tightening, because if anything strips easy, it's plastic. Kind of hoping that other screw falls out while we're sitting here working on this. You see, that just fell right apart. There's only one way you're going to put this on, but we have that hole right there, and then we have 2 holes down here, and there are pinholes. So that's like that. And then these screws are stainless steel, so let's go ahead and get one ready, because stainless steel is not magnetic. Excuse my fingernails, you guys. I've been dabbling in a lot of stuff here lately, so I'm pretty dirty. But let's go ahead and just get one started. The wrong side. I'm going to get it started like this. Okay. And bring it over to where our flat side's down. 2 holes at the bottom, 1 at the top, and our 2 pinholes on the side. Just snug it up. You stop right there. Don't go any further. That's for the other one. Tighten that down, snug, and stop. You can use a light thread locker on these if you want. I've never heard of anybody really complaining that they've come loose, so I don't have any need. I don't feel any need that it's necessary to use a thread locker. So now that joint is repaired. That joint will be perfectly fine. That's real simple. I might have to pause and find that screw, because I don't think it rolled out anywhere. I did not see it roll anywhere, and you can see it's tiny. It's inside here. So I might have to stop and take the bottom off to find it. It's nowhere to be found. The missing screw. All right, so let's pause real quick. Let me find that screw. Okay, so we found our little tiny screw. So now we have 2 of them, and we're back in business. You can see I've got a little blue on my fingers. That's because I had to remove the bottom, and that's where all that heat sink gel is. And then I also had to break out one of my stickers. So DJI doesn't know I was in there, because as soon as you remove a screw that sticker is attached to, that sticker falls apart, and they know void warranty, somebody's been in here. But DJI has nothing on me. All I do is I had a source that I just luckily fell into that gave me a whole sheet of those little stickers, and they're very nice to have, because I fix a lot of DJIs for people, and if they ever have to send it in for DJI to work on it, DJI will never know I was in here, because they're getting genuine parts, and the warranty stickers are on. So we're gonna, I rolled this up, we're gonna just feed this in, and then when I see it, sometimes they won't come up and I'll grab it with tweezers, but look at that. It's going to be a nice easy one for us. So let's get on there, just check the joint, feels good. And I'm going to go ahead and put my screws in. So let's put the joint like that. There could not be an easier leg replacement than these little mini drones. And it's not just the DJIs. A lot of these mini drones I work on, I mean, they're the easiest to repair, just because there's just nothing to them. They're fragile, but for the most part, they don't have a lot of screws, and they just snap together like a snap-on model that we used to make when we were kids. And that keeps all the weight down. So, all right, so if you remember, it's the opposite of this. It mirrors this. So we have white, black, red. We're going to go white, black, red. And then if you look here, it says WBR. You can't always read that. Sometimes that's painted over with this black goop that they use. And let's get them in a nice little order to work with. So I can just grab them with my tweezers and go. Now I have a little bit of liquid electrical tape. Didn't grab that, but basically that's what I'm going to do here. So it's exactly like what they have, but I don't have it on me. So I'll just get this done, and then I'll do that when I'm finished. Kind of give the wire a little bend, so you can line right up to your solder point. Make sure you're in view here. And heat it up and just let it sink right into it. You want to get that bubble on top of the wire. And there was already enough solder still there to where I don't have to add to it. And then I'm just going to push that wire down. Now we want black. Give it a little bend. Grab it just with the tip of the tweezers. Get it over top. Nice bubble. Bend this one a little bit. Get it over top. Don't like how I'm holding it. There we go. There we go. So what I'll do is I'll push these wires down, and then when I get my black electrical tape, basically is what that is, and I'll put that on there, and they'll never know I was here. Clean this guy up. And then I like to just make sure I tuck the wires down. inside there. Keep them laying to where they're flat and in order. That's the way I like it anyhow. I'm going to hold them with my thumb, and then I'm just going to kind of push these down. That way no screws come along and hit them when I'm putting things back together. Okay, there. Now they're tucked down in there nicely, nice and flat here. And then I just need to take my black, and that'll be that. Another thing I want to do is, see these rubber pads? Just stick on. Take them off carefully, like that. Check the screws from the manufacturer, make sure they're good and tight. Put that baby in there. And good to go. So the leg is on. That was pretty fast. We have 4 screws remaining, and that's for the cover. So we'll put the cover on. Get this front end snapped in first. I just kind of wiggle it around until they snap in. Try to keep that cover there open, and then I work my way back. They always snap together much easier than they come apart. And I'm going to have to take this apart again because I want to double check that frame and then put in my black electrical tape. And then close that up. Put our screws in. Snug, not over tight. Okay, go back to my larger screwdriver here. Holds on to them nicely. As soon as that screw stops, there is no torquing down on it. Once it stops, you stop. And you will not strip anything out and do any damage. All right, so that was fast. Very quick, easy repair, good and secure. And I'm going to put all new props on for the customer, and then I'll be right back with you, and we'll fire it up and just make sure my motor is turning in the correct direction. Okay, so we have all the props on, and we just want to see that the motor is going clockwise. So in the case of this, you want this motor clockwise, this motor will be counterclockwise, this motor will be clockwise, this motor will be counterclockwise. This is the only one we messed with, so we just want to make sure it's turning in that direction. Yes, I have the props on with the drone indoors. It's not going anywhere. We're safe here, fellas. So let's just check it out. And she's turning in the right direction. And that's that. So one successful replacement leg done on the DJI Mini 2. Hopefully this is something that helps you, because that is my whole purpose of doing this video. And of course, thumbs up on your way out. And if you're new to my channel, greatly appreciate if you hit subscribe and then hit the bell for future content. And if you're looking for a front leg replacement video, once I have that complete, it will be at the end of this video. You just simply click on the thumbnail. Thank you everybody for watching. Peace and love.